Recording in progress.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm Amy Steinberg. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles. So happy to be with you today. We're going to start with a song of mine called I Light Up the World. And I want you to sing it with me. I want you to sing it with me as loud as you can. It goes, I light up the world with my light. 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 Come on, you got it. I light up the world with my light. 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 You light up the world. You light up the world with your light. 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 Turn to somebody, tell them. You light up the world with your light. 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 How about we as a spiritual community? Come on. We light up the world with our light. 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 We, one more time, come on. We light up the world with our light. 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 I light up the world with my 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 light. We sing. We light it up. 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 We light up the world. We light it up. 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 We light up the world. One more time. We light it up. 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 We light up the world with our light.
Thank you. You have definitely lit up our world for the morning, Amy Steinberg, and a big hello to you.
Good morning to you, my dear.
I know. Happy Sunday.
That's right. It is a happy Sunday being with you.
It is a very happy Sunday being with you as well as you join us from Asheville, North Carolina, I believe, correct?
That's right.
Is it feeling
We're
like summer
across the
there?
country from each other.
Exactly. Is it feeling like summer there?
It's gorgeous here. I mean, it's definitely summer. It's sunny, but it was a cool morning, cool mountain morning.
I
Have
love
you ever
it.
been here before?
It's been years and years and years and years ago, but yes.
I think,
So,
yeah, I can see you resonating with it here.
yeah, well, I love the mountains. So, well, good morning, everyone, and a big hello and welcome to Amy Steinberg, our guest this morning. I'm Reverend Dr. Keith Cox, and I'm the leader here at the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles. And we welcome you into our virtual space on this day, June 19th, in the year 2022. What a pleasure it is to have us all come together. And so I'm glad you're all here. We're going to say goodbye to Amy for just a moment, and then she'll be back in a bit to sing beautiful music for us and us to have a wonderful collaborative morning together. So thanks for being here with us, Amy.
I am thrilled and can't wait for our time together.
I love it. See you shortly. And so once again, I'm so happy to have you all here with us today. I am Reverend Keith, as I said earlier, and we come together in this virtual environment to remember who we are as spiritual beings navigating the journey of life itself. We come together in this time to remember our divine nature, to take a moment to anchor ourselves into the spirit of life that is within us, that light that Amy just sang about and spoke of. Our theme for the month is This Little Light of Mine. And so today our objective and our goal as we continue each and every Sunday coming together for us to find an outlet in a new way for our light to shine. And so without further ado, let's look at our slides to kick us off this morning, as it is Pride Month around the world, and we here at the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles certainly honors the unique individuals of life themselves and how we all come together. As a community, we come together, as I said before, to remember who we are and offer each other a big hello as we continue in this month of June. For many years, our community had a handout on Sunday mornings that had a quote from Ernest Holmes that said, "Spirit has placed the stamp of individuality upon it and called it you." And we're here to honor that, to acknowledge that, and to celebrate that today. We do that by remembering that there is the light within each and every one of us. As it shows us on the screen right now, that light is, in this particular instance, is showing through the third eye of the individual, that chakra in the being that allows us to have intuition and guidance. And so let's all take a moment and place our hands together in prayer position, remembering and honoring that that light that exists within each and every one of us exists within all of us, as we say together, Namaste. The power in me honors and acknowledges the power, the divine, the light in you. And as we give, so shall we receive. Also today is Father's Day, and so let's wish a big happy Father's Day to all as we honor fathers today, those that are both biological fathers and those that play the role, and I don't mean play as in play acting, but that stand in that role for father or papa, or that being of light, of guidance for those. As well, as I said before, it is Juneteenth today, officially tomorrow, but today is the actual day of Juneteenth here in the United States of America, where we celebrate the acknowledgement of the freedom of slavery, the emancipation when it took place in Texas since 1853, and the world traveled, a big day in our history. And so we begin our service each and every Sunday morning by remembering who we are. We are beings of light individually, but as a community, we come together to support individuals finding their personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. We are a community that practices the philosophy, the faith, the way of life known as the science of mind. This teaching, this philosophy, this faith, as created by Dr. Ernest Holmes, who was a practitioner of New Thought, of the New Thought movement in the late 1800s, the 19th century, was a new way of looking at life, where it was the first time that, certainly in a collective way, people began to realize that there's only one power that exists in the universe. It's universal, it's infinite, it's that which is the creator of the cosmos, it's all of life itself, and that we each individualize it. We experience it, express it, process it through our thoughts, our beliefs, our actions, our reactions, our interactions in life. In other words, the way that we think, believe, and know ourselves to be. And we get to experience that state of being, that state of mind, because we live in a universe that is governed by spiritual law. Therefore, that which we emanate and express in life comes back to us in form or experience, which brings us down to the very basic belief of, if you don't like your life, change your thinking. In other words, change your thinking, change your life, meaning that we have a role that we play in life whereby we can make a difference, not only in our own life, but in the lives of all beings of life. And this is because we are all interconnected through and as this mind. And so today, I invite us all to open our mind in a new way, to opening ourselves up to this experience of the divine in a new way, of tapping into our personal self-empowerment in a new way, and ultimately knowing that that provides for each and every one of us, should we be receptive to it, a spiritual awakening, meaning that we awaken to our spiritual nature and tune into it in a new way. So we open our service each morning with a ritual. It's called Calling in the Light. The acronym for light is Living in God's Healing Truth. God, in this sense, is that infinite, impersonal, universal, omniscient, omnipresent being, that power of creation that exists by means of you and by means of me. And so today, as we indeed call in this light, may we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. The purpose of this ritual is to draw into our gathering this morning a more conscious awareness of our oneness and the qualities that we possess as complete expressions of the divine. And so as we feel the vibrations shift during this experience, may we become ever more aware of the light of life that exists in and as all expressions of life, which includes you, and it includes me. Today I would like to read for us, as we honor fathers, Rumi's tribute to fathers. I invite you to open your mind to this as you hear it today, and know that there's some words that might be a little bit harsh or triggering, but to keep in context that Rumi, as when he spoke of father, not only spoke of the father as the biological being of light, but father as that higher creative power that exists within us as is. He writes, though a mother's love is filled with kindness, a father's harshness is God's amazing grace. Look at me as your father, and not as the husband of your mother. Cherish your relationship with your father while he is still alive and still around. Not talking to him is a wrong thing to do. You won't become a righteous son by blaming all your failures on your father. Blaming him to hide your own bad choices will only make you stay in total denial. Listen to your father, since you are his son, meaning child, and he considers you as his sultan and king. Give your father a hand. Help him out until the break of dawn if you have to. See the divine beauty emanating from your father's ragged old face. If you become successful and prosperous, it's thanks to your father's constant prayers and supplications to hundreds of saints and prophets. Oh, the son of enlightenment, learn from your devout father, who constantly begs the Almighty for your sins to be forgiven. Forgive us, O Lord. We have wronged ourselves, for the world has inherited this irrefutable fact for thousands of years now. When a father dies, their child becomes the father. Today I invite us all to bring in the image of our Father into our mind's eye, forgiving any wrongdoings, opening up to a higher framework, and stand in gratitude for being given life itself. Remembering that we are indeed calling in the light, not just our light, but the light of all. Amy will come back on the screen and take us through her chant, O Holy Light, and I invite us all to sing along. and so it is. I just love that chant, Amy.
Thank you.
So beautiful. What was the story of how you created it or allowed it to reveal itself through you?
I think it was a connection for me melodically with my roots, my Jewish roots. If you can feel it has like a Jewish feeling.
Yes.
And I was working with Christy Snow at the time, and I think it was just me wanting to create another meditation song for us and wanting to just declare the I am. Declaring the I am, which, is the most powerful thing in the world.
Well, they say that the two most powerful words that we can speak are I am, and equal to that are the words that follow.
I love that.
Yeah. Which is what speaks to me regarding that chant is the holy light part. Just remembering ourselves that I am the holy light. Right? The holy light, that light that is within, that is the same light that is the cosmos, that is the light within all, that is the light within the Father that Rumi speaks of. I was hesitant to read that from Rumi because it's very harsh, but it also speaks to me, certainly with a relationship with my Father, but also to remember that it is that the continuity of light that is indeed being passed down.
Yeah.
Right. That is the light that is transcendent of the human behavior. It doesn't discount the human behavior, but it certainly is transcendent of it.
That's the holy light.
Yeah. So Amy, let's tell everybody, we decided spontaneously that we wanted to have fun today, right?
That's right.
We did. We wanted to bring in joy, and we wanted to bring in fun, and we wanted to bring in fun energy. And so now is the time to move into that realm, because you're going to sing a fun song for us to stimulate us into that next realm, right?
That's right.
You're already wrapped in great, beautiful colors from your paintings that are recent paintings, I believe, that
Yes.
you've done, and colorful in your apparel and, of course, your beads. So
I love the word apparel. I just love the word
apparel.
Well, you told me it was this little light, so I can't help it. I want to sing this little light. And
Great.
I'm going to combine it with the wonderful chant from Ricky Byers, the I Love Myself. And we're going to have some fun with this. So,
Great.
This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Come on. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Sing it with me, this little light, come on. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. That's right. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Believe it. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Because you know why? Because I love myself so much, so I can love you so much, so you can love you so much, so you can start loving me. I love myself so much, come on, so I can love you so much, so you can love you, so you can love you so much, so you can start loving me. I love myself so much, I love, so I can love you so much, you love, so you can love you so much, so you can start loving me. Let's sing this little light, but instead of this little light, let's sing this big heart. That's from Gino Walker. Come on, we go like this. This big heart of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This big heart of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This big heart of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it
I love it. What a great combination of Ricky Byers song, Amy Steinberg songs, and a reimagination of lyrics by Gina Walker.
Yes.
Haven't heard her name in a while. How wonderful. Love her. She's a big, full energy.
She's amazing.
Isn't she amazing? Just fantastic. Just fantastic. So I want to start with two fun little, well, we'll see. So we'll start with this. The son says, "Dad, are bugs good to eat?" "Let's not talk about such things at the dinner table, son," his father replied. After dinner, the father inquired, "Now, son, what did you want to ask me?" "Oh, nothing," the boy said. "There was just a bug in your soup, but now it's gone."
Oh,
Oh, okay. Next one. A small boy was at the zoo with his father. They were looking at the tigers, and his father was telling him how ferocious they were. "Daddy, if the tigers got out and ate you up..." "Yes, son," the father asked, ready to console him. "Which bus would I take home?" So,
oh, these are perfect.
right? So I'm going to read this letter that was written. Happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there. This year, let's pay special tribute to those men who are and have been just like a father in a family whose real father has died, deserted, or simply has not been in evidence for one reason or another. A garland of orchids to stepfathers, the men who married women with ready-made families. They've had to overcome countless obstacles that only men in that situation have to endure. "You're not my real father, so you can't tell me what to do," they might hear. Let's also not forget the uncles, older brothers, cousins, or friends who have stepped in to be the father in homes where there are none. And God bless the generous men who found the time to join Big Brothers, an organization of men who have volunteered to be surrogate fathers to fatherless boys. A 21-gun salute to the divorced father who's never uttered an unkind word about the mother of his children, and who has always been Johnny on the spot with the child support check. A championship trophy engraved with a heart of gold to the single father who is head of the household, juggling the duties of child rearing and breadwinning with few, if any, role models to guide him. Happy Father's Day to all you men and women who've been positive role models for boys who need them. And Dad, if you should get another necktie for Father's Day, be sure to wear it immediately, so the kids won't ask, sometimes around Christmas, "Say, how come you never wear that tie that we gave you last Father's Day?" Readers, for those whose father is deceased and who want to say a special prayer today, I offer the following. Thy memory, my dear Father, fills my soul at this solemn hour. It revives me in my thoughts, and it revives me in thoughts of the love and friendliness that thou didst bestow upon me. The thought of thee inspires me to a life of virtue, and when my pilgrimage on earth is ended, and I shall arrive at the throne of mercy, may I be worthy of thee in the sight of God and man. May our merciful Father reward thee for the faithfulness and kindness that thou hast ever shown me. May he grant thee eternal peace. Amen. Does any of that speak to you as I'm dropping paper everywhere?
Well, I just think about, I'm just thinking about my dad, and how I'm also thinking about gender.
Yes, me too.
And of course, it's like you can't help it, especially in these times where the construct of gender is just shifting. We're in this time of awakening and shifting, and so. But when I think about my father, I do think he was sort of a typical dad because it was before this shifting. I think things are changing now for the generation that is growing up now. I think the father and the mother sort of, it can be so, but my dad was like the breadwinner and my mom was it was very sort of 50s, 60s, nuclear family. So my dad, he would come home from work and we'd run to the door, like very typical, like dad was the good guy, mom was the punisher,
Yeah.
And when he died, it was devastating. So, I don't know. I was just thinking about that love, that father's love that is precious, and how if we can, imagine that God's. I don't. I think it was Karen Drucker once who was doing one of those exercises of like, you are the face of God, or one of
Right.
those exercises that she does. And she said, close your eyes and imagine someone that loves you. Imagine someone that loves you. And I would always think of my dad or my best friend and she's like, feel that love. And then imagine that God's love is that amplified times a bazillion or whatever. And I got chills just thinking about that. And so that's what I think about in terms of divinity, is that if I can take, because I have a good experience with my father and know that God is just was just personified in that relationship.
I agree. It's so interesting to have you say that, because I think of my father, and we did not have the greatest of relationships, and it all had to do with my being so out and loud and gay, and then out and loud and gay, and really antithetical to everything that, I don't know if it was necessarily everything. In looking back, I don't know if it was against everything he believed in, but it was certainly against everything that he had been trained to stand for. And so I have the capacity now to look at it through the lens of that is just what it was. I'm not excusing the behavior. I'm just saying that's through the lens of what he had been taught was right, and didn't really have the capacity or the willingness to learn differently, even though I have learned over time that he did stand up to his Southern Baptist Sunday school class, telling them that he had a gay son. So
Wow.
it's this really interesting thing that he couldn't do it with me, but he certainly did it for me, right?
Wow.
It's interesting
Very
dynamic.
interesting.
And then now having my son, my spiritual offspring, that is very out, very gay, very loud, all of that, right? Which I love. And at the same time is pushing the forefront of this gender movement you're speaking about, and doing it professionally. It at times even tests what I am comfortable with. And I get to see through those eyes and ask myself, am I going to hang on to some old ideology, or am I willing to evolve consciously, right? Because that's really what all of this is about, is the human has the capacity to evolve consciously into a higher framework of believing, right? And to let that light shine, right? While at the same time, our humanity oftentimes gets in the way of how we express our divinity, right? We let our ego, our emotion come into play. And so that can be challenging for all of us. And certainly when we look at it in holding the context of the person that plays that role of father, that looks as to be the role of the protector, the role of the trainer, the role of all of that, right? And to remember that from a spiritual perspective, what we're really talking about is processing at a higher level and a higher level and a higher level life through oneness. Dr. Holmes says in the book The Science of Mind, I and the Father are one. He's speaking obviously of the Creator, right? But he says, I and the Father are one. The Father that dwelleth in me, he doeth the works. We must come to sense this marvelous presence, for this is the secret of successful metaphysical work. God in all and through all. I mean, let's hear that statement again. We must come to sense this marvelous presence, for this is the secret of successful metaphysical work, which is a never-ending process.
I gotta say that I want to sing a song connected to this idea that I and the Father are one, and I hear you speaking about your generational evolution with your own son and your father, and this connection. There's this golden thread idea, and this light connecting us. And so I thought this song would be just so perfect to sing for you. It's called Golden Thread. There is a thread, a golden thread, connecting you and me.
reminds me that what we're called to, as we remember this golden thread, is to engage in acts of kindness, right? That will be a reminder for us of the connection that we have. Just to choose as much as we can each and every day to be kinder and kinder and kinder to each other. In the theme of Father's Day, I wanted to share, I pulled up a bunch of little stuff to play with in Father's Day, and this I think is cute. It was from Reader's Digest, from readers who to write about situations with their fathers in 100 words or less. This was submitted by Kay Lockridge in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and the title is First in Flight. And she writes, "The little Cessna had just cleared the pattern in its climb to 1,500 feet when my father said, 'Okay, we can land now.' With my newly minted private pilot's license in hand, I had wanted him to be my first non-instructor passenger. I'd planned to circle the Michigan State University campus and come back to the university-owned airport. I reminded him of this, and I'll never forget what Dad said more than 40 years ago. Kay, I'm not really fond of small planes. I just wanted you to know that I have confidence in you." It's that act of confidence that is an act of kindness that we can all share with each other. It's really an act of love. As Ernest Holmes says, the self-givingness of spirit whose desires to create more of itself out of itself, and the only way it can do that is through you and through me. This quote by A.R. Lucas speaks to this topic. We've been infected with this idea that love is an emotion only felt between two people. But love is universal, an energy, a contagious force, a gift. To offer money to a homeless person is to love. To save a worm from the sun is to love. To smile to a stranger is love. To be grateful, to be hopeful, to be brave, to be forgiving, to be proud is to love.
I can't help it. This is next.
Go for it.
There's a power in a seed, reminding itself how to become a tree. There's a power in a cell, and it's capable of making it you or me. There's a power in a word, vibrating at a frequency, and there's a power inside that power, inside that power. You know what it is, Keith? It's love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. And you can feel it revealed when an open, broken heart begins to be healed. It breaks like the sky when a long, dark night starts spinning on the wheel of the world. Watch it rise. Out of the ashes comes another day of bright light, shining through your eyes. So much surprise every time we fall in. Sing it with me. Love, 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 love. Love, love, love. I love, 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 da 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 da. What up, da da down, da 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 down. One more verse. Check it out. There's a force in the fist. When unclenched, it ceases to exist. It shifts into light. So much freedom releases from the wrist. So insist on bliss. 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 And love, 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 love. Ba-da-da-da. Love, 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 love. There's a power in a seed, reminding itself how to become a tree. There's a power in a cell, and it's capable of making a you or a me. There's a power in a word, vibrating at a frequency. There's a power inside that power, inside that power. Back of all that power is love.
ha ha. Yeah.
Yes.
So that power, that genius that exists within us, David Hawkins addresses it in this way. Until one acknowledges the genius within oneself, one will have great difficulty recognizing it in others. A new way to look at it, right? So, and then surrendering to it within us. He goes on to say, it's willful to even insist that you're going to be enlightened. Who wants to be enlightened? The ego. So surrender your personal will to the divine and pray. I align myself with thee, that I may be thy servant, that I may fulfill my infinite potential to thy glory.
Come on.
Come on, David Hawkins.
Preach.
What I think what he's speaking to there is that as we all continue on our journey in life of this spiritual awakening, of finding a higher energy field, because his whole philosophy is all about conscious evolution, vibrating to a higher frequency of mind, that the way to do that, as he speaks of in his book, Power versus Force, is not by trying to will it to happen, not by trying to force it to happen. It's by surrendering to the power itself and letting the power take us there. And it does that by eliminating anything that is contrary to it. Now, that's not always easy to do, but certainly a calling that is worth tending to.
It reminds me of this awesome thing that I heard yesterday from Tara Brach. Do you know the study about the monkeys that there was a coconut that was carved out, and they put this sweet rice in it, and they attached a chain to it. Okay, this is the story. They attach a chain to it to the point where the monkey, somehow the contraption, the monkey puts the hand in to get the rice, and if the monkey tries to take the rice out, it gets stuck. But if the monkey lets the rice go, right? But the monkeys wouldn't take it out. The force, the power that I'm thinking of this idea of force, like forcing it out. They want to force this. They want that rice, that ego. They want that rice. They got to get that rice. And all they have to do to get the freedom is let go of, and it's just such a great metaphor for this idea of holding on so tight to the idea of whatever it is I desire or want, as opposed to surrendering to God, to God's will, to God's power, to God's love, And of course, Christy Snow's song, I Surrender, came to mind.
Okay, sing it.
Would you like to hear that?
Yeah.
Letting go of that rice, man. Woo! It's tough.
It's hard when it's sticky.
It's sticky.
Sticky
and it's
rice.
Delicious. It's delicious. That's the thing. It's like giving up any addiction or any idea about something, It's like...
Or attachment.
Letting go.
It's letting go of the attachment.
The attachment. Amen. Look at us Buddhists here. New Thought Buddhists. I surrender. It's the Christy Snow. It's so good. I trust and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I fall into the arms of love. I surrender. Come on, sing it with me, Keith. I surrender. I trust and I know. I trust and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I fall into the arms of love. One more time, I surrender. Sing it with us. I surrender. This can be very healing. I trust and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I fall into the arms of love. I fall All comes back to love, Keith.
Yeah. And that love is all about an energy field, right? It's about the energy of love. It's the radiance that we emanate. I keep looking over your shoulder at those paintings that you did, which are clearly a reflection of a radiance that exists within you, right? We look at that crystal, that's that massive crystal of your left shoulder, and it's not difficult for any of us to comprehend and understand that if you were to put your face in that crystal and go, whoa, some little echo would bounce back, right? We intellectually know that because that's the way energy moves, those waves of sound move. And what this power is that Hawkins is telling us to surrender to, that Christy Snow is the channel for us to surrender to, is that power. And that once we surrender to it and open up to it, just like the crystal, it will reverberate back to us. We don't put it out there and then it just goes and disappears. Its nature is to respond. So its nature is to reflect back to us. And so our goal in life is to become clearer and clearer and clearer about what we're putting out, right? What we're putting out. And
I always love to put out, Keith.
I know, baby. Kennedy Schultz says we all had it wrong on Saturday night. We shouldn't be going out to get laid. We should be going out to give laid. The nature of the universe is to give. So, but
That's perfect.
But the key to it is to do it with that state of being open. Maya Angelou writes, she said, I've learned that whenever I decide something with an open heart, I usually make the right decision. I've learned that even when I have pains, I don't have to be one. I've learned that every day you should reach out and touch someone. People love a warm hug or just a friendly pat on the back. I've learned that I still have a lot to learn. I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel.
I was thinking about everything you're saying too, about the power and the presence and the reverberation. And I was thinking about, I can't help but think about electricity as as that example of the flow of the flow. And then of course I thought about this song, which is, from the great Eddie Watkins Jr. And it goes along with everything that you're saying. So one more tune here for me, yeah? One more tune?
Yeah.
It goes, flow, spirit flow through me. I love this song. As I open up to be an expression of your unfolding peace. Show, spirit show through me. As I open up to be an expression of your unfolding love. I'm gonna do it one more time. It goes like this. Flow, spirit flow through me. As I open up to be an expression of your unfolding peace. Show, spirit shout through me. As I open up to be an expression of your unfolding love. Your unfolding love. Flow. I just love that song.
I love that song too.
Being in the flow.
Being in the flow. Keep playing the background piano music to that, please. Let's see if Zoom will let us do this. So I hope and trust that for each of us today, our little fun activity has inspired us all to be willing to open up to surrender to the calling of a next great expression in our life. To share with you a meditation that I get. It's a daily meditation from the beautiful and fabulous Marianne Williamson. And it's, of course, is steeped in A Course in Miracles, and I'm going to share it with you today and invite you to let it be a mantra, if you will, a invitation for life. And it says, I seek to create a better life. Take a good look at your life right now. If you don't like something about it, close your eyes and imagine the life you want. Now allow your focus, your inner eye, on the person you would have to be in order to create this preferred life. Notice the differences in how you behave and present yourself. Allow yourself to spend several seconds breathing in this new image, expanding your energy into this new mold. And hold the image for several seconds. And then invite in your awareness to this creative power that it may imprint onto your subconscious mind, this new image. Give yourself the gift to do that for about 5 minutes each day this week. And then affirm, God, as I impress this upon me, please hold this vision with me for who I'm meant to be. Reveal to me the bigger life that I'm here to live. I release the forces that have kept me bound as I serve the divine more and more. I seek to create a better life. Amen. And so it is.
And so it is.
Beautiful. Thank you, Amy.
Oh my gosh, my pleasure.
So much fun.
So
much fun. And thank you to each one of you for being here today. We're going to give you the opportunity right now to support our community by what we call conscious giving. I'm going to place on the screen the way to do that. And from there, why is this doing that funky thing? Let's see. There we go. And Amy will take us through our conscious giving song called Love Is My Decision. And here we go. So if you look on the screen, you'll see that the ways to do that are through our website, which is CSL-LA.org. Up in there, let's go. There. Click on donate or go to the app in our app store, or our app called Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles. It'll take you through that. You can mail in a check or you can call me and I can take care of it directly. Know that your support financially is deeply appreciated and honored, and acknowledge that it helps us continue to do what we do here at the Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles, which is indeed not only to make a difference and to tithe to those around the world and at home, but to also support individuals finding their personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening. Amy, guide us through our song, please.
love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision, and no one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision. It's my decision right here and now. It's my decision right here and now. Right now.
Yes, it is. Fabulous. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. What a fun Sunday morning to celebrate Father's Day. A big thank you to Amy for being here today. A thank you to Travis Smith for being our audio technician, and a big thank you to Robert Hensley, who supports us with all of our social media and being the conduit for that so that we can be on Facebook today live as well as through Zoom. A big thank you to each one of you for being here. Please know that you can find out what's going on here on our website, csl-la.org, or once again, go to the app in the App Store, Center for Spiritual Living Los Angeles. We have a Wednesday morning midweek meditation that takes place at 8:30 a.m. We'd love to have each and every one of you join us and invite your friends. We'll be back in person on July 12th, again in the building at our home at Congregation Kol Ami at 1200 North La Brea Avenue, as well as please make sure you're getting the daily text for the day that goes out every morning at 7:30. It's a great way to not only have a grounding pick-me-up for the day, but also then there's great animation that goes of those that go out through social media of Instagram, Facebook, and all of it. So much fun. Thank you all for being here today, and may you remember that you have a choice in how you not only view and love and remember and honor your father, but all fathers. But remember that you have a choice today as to how you express the Father, that hierarchical figure of creation that exists within each and every one of us. We are indeed at choice, but always, always, always remember to honor and remember that Spirit has indeed placed the stamp of individuality upon itself and called it you. And that's a freaking fantastic thing. And so it is. We're going to say goodbye to all of you now. If you've joined us through Facebook Live, we're going to say goodbye to you. And those that are on Zoom can stay on. May your week be filled with love and blessings, and know that you are indeed love. Have a great week. And so it is.
And so it